Hey guys, and welcome back to Fine Art Review. Today we are going to look at a landscape painting by Anders Zorn, a Swedish landscape painter from Mora. He was, he is still very well known, but even when he was alive, he was very well known internationally and fantastic painter. Mainly known for his portraitures and his figures outdoors, which in my opinion are the absolute best. He has some oil landscapes out there, and a couple of years ago there's one that went up on a Swedish auction house, and I believe this painting is now privately owned, but I'm not stating that as a fact. If you're intrigued, look into it for sure. But this painting, let's just dive into it. This is a painting from Nordkapp in Norway, the northernest point of mainland in Scandinavia at least. Nordkapp, the North Cape. Incredible painting. Just look at this. Anders Zorn. I mean, you don't get more confident as a Scandinavian than this. Anders Zorn is an incredible example of that. He looks at the ocean hitting probably around the sun, midnight sun maybe, a mountain in the fjord sticking straight out of the sea, and he just approaches it like it's nothing. It's clear when you're looking at this that he's just been playing, you know. The composition I love because the painting actually ends here, and the mountaintop you don't entirely see it because that isn't important. The lighting here is what's important. The contrast between the sun and the shadow is definitely what intrigued him, and the meeting with the sea as well. That's definitely part of it. But it's so rich in painting, and that's in paint. That's something that I've always loved with Anders Zorn. How he really builds up his painting. It looks like he's either this is the imprimatura or it's a wash with terps or something in the beginning, and then just painted on top of it. But you can clearly see the texture of the canvas right here, and then you go up here and you see that this is some juicy brush strokes. There's some textures in here, thick, a lot of paint, even in the shadows close to that, and you see he's sort of blended it with a brush stroke. I mean, in terms of technique, Anders Zorn is fantastic. There's no doubt about it, and this painting has blown my mind for a while since I saw it. I mean, it's particularly interesting now because this is where I'm headed essentially in 2022 on my venture. But yeah, look at that. Just adding a little bit of blue in there, like why not, sort of. We can, I mean, we have some orange warm here. Maybe you could say that he's complementing that, but also because the shadow is quite cold. It's blue versus orange if you're talking colors as temperatures, but it works really well. Some hints of greens in there. Anders definitely worked with the black, even in the landscape, which is nice to see someone using it so well. Yeah, but clearly he's using green in here as well. Look at that. Something representing almost phthalo green in there. Oops, I think a mistake on this, isn't it? Walking through the bushes on the way back, same here, probably. But this is incredible. I mean, I can't imagine him spending a lot of time on this. That's something that's really fascinating, but also, I mean, if this is in summer, he definitely had some time to do it. This, well, it wouldn't be in winter because the sun isn't it doesn't rise in the winter. So probably spring or winter, or spring or fall, I guess. The sun is clearly very low, but if it's in the summer, you have all the time in the world to actually paint this. I don't think it would be like high summer, because of the shadows are quite low, means the sun is quite low. Hitting this, I'm assuming it's sunrise like that. You don't really get those colors, those type of pinkish distant mountains in the sunrise with that haze. You don't really get it in the afternoon. The the atmosphere is much more clear in the evening rather than in the morning. So probably this is during sunrise. It would be cool to go and see this actual cliff, see how tall it is, and see how accurate he painted it. But yeah, I mean, this is a man of confidence. To me, this is just completely dynamic, no second guesses whatsoever. He knows what he wants to do, and he just goes for it. And plays, enjoys it at the same time. And it was so easy for him that he actually just wrote a message to Mr. Rikov. Oh, it painted in 1848 maybe, 6th till 7th of July. So okay, so in the night for sure, definitely during midnight sun. So there we have that. Very cool, very cool. And particularly, I love this area here, because you can see how he really sculpted it out with paint. You see clearly that there's a turn on this hill. It's not a clear flat, you know. Like here, this surface is quite flat. You can see that here too. This one, but here you really have that turn. You can see how it's shaped only through the design of this shadow and with intentional brushstrokes, sort of sculpting that shape out. But then again here, it's just, oh, we need the light. Oh, also there's a shadow there. Zhup. Oops. So much wind, so much paint. I don't know what happened here, but on the Zorn, you amaze me. I'm trying to figure out what it says here. Mir du. It looks like that like it. I have no idea what it says. Look at that. Look how juicy it is. Look, you can see the entire text. Look at that. Man. So cool. Here you have the edge of the canvas too. That is incredible. So nice. Look at the colors in here. Huh? Reds and blues and the greyish purples, and dry brushing a little bit on top of stuff, and that's that green again. It's a Viridian green probably. I think he used Viridian green in his landscapes. I would love to see this in life. That is fantastic. That's a very Anders Zorn approach, to do this like really thin parts building up to something that's really thick. If you look in some of his paintings of water, he does that as well. It's something that has been on my mind for many years, and it's so simplistic and so effective. You get both textures, you get variation, you get different types of colors, you get transparencies in there, so you're ultimately creating more life through that method. So by being aware of that, I think you are a fantastic painter. But yeah, I don't know what more to say. I just love this the sky. Look at the sky. So there's definitely work two values here, right? Again, you see the linen here. You even see the holes. Look also on those vibrations right there, or those shifts, like barely shift in, and I don't even know if this shifts in value, to be honest. I think it's just less white and more blue here than what it is down here, and a warmer white down there. But yeah, it's clear here. You can see the vibrations right there, and as soon as you sort of step away from it, you don't really see it. It's just a natural sort of change. 10 out of 10, Anders, for sure. Loving those grays, and I mean, I'm still fascinated by the use of black in his painting. I know a lot of people struggle with using black. I very rarely use it, but he manages to do it really well. Well, I wouldn't doubt it, because he was a master for sure, and still is. Something that's also really nice, like these type of waters when they're really dark, and you can see down into the water and the transparency of it, but the water in Scandinavia and the ocean is so dark. In many places, in some places it's completely turquoise. You can actually see that. This is probably why he put some turquoise in there, to also indicate that. But those dark bits, when like algae are down there, or seaweed, and you have a shadow on top of it, the sky isn't reflecting in the waves, so you just see down to the bottom, and it's really dark. I absolutely love that. It normally happens in front lit scenes when you don't have too much of light reflecting onto the water. But yeah, very nice. This is also interesting because Anders used both white here and here to indicate the waves in the shadow as bright as like the reflection of the sky here, which I don't think I would have done the same. But look at that too, just this type of playfulness here, and that sort of indication of changing value here in order to describe the water as transparent. The same is with this turquoise. It's describing transparency in the water really well. You can see that the cliffs are going down into the water, or that the water is coming on top of it, and really demonstrating that, I think. Very nice. Yeah, I guess that's it for art review this time. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, feel free to comment on the video. If you have any particular artists you want to see or talk about, or whatever, discuss, let me know. But thanks for now, and I'll see you next time.